Hello there, Proguides family. Welcome back to another Proguides video. It's Dan here, and today we're talking about a couple of small tricks you can use that seem insignificant at first glance, but are actually broken. Use these tricks effectively and you will easily gain MMR. But before getting into that, my question of the day for you is, how would you react if one of your teammates or a member of the enemy team asked you to swap tips? I would honestly love to swap tips, but sometimes people don't tip back or tip back Dota Plus shards, not Battle Pass points. So now I always tip them back after they tip me first. I just hate it when people think they're smarter than everyone else and try to scam them for 50 Battle Pass points. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so as you all know, Dota is a supremely complex game with a lot of mechanics, heroes, items, creeps, and so forth. However, there are a lot of mechanics that to this day the majority of Dota players don't use. Fortunately, we're going to talk about some of them in this video. Starting off with our list, utilizing neutral creeps to their full potential. Sounds a bit too broad, no? Well then, let's get into the finer details. Don't you just hate it when you're playing on the safe lane, and you need to pull, but the offlaner or the position 4 starts contesting your pull? Well, sometimes there's nothing you can do to stop them from contesting your pull. However, some camps are more dangerous to contest than others, especially if your creep's already aggroed to the camp. One of those camps is the Vul Assassin camp, which spawns in the small camp. The Vuls have a passive ability called Envenomed Weapon, which applies a 35% health regen reduction to their attack and lasts for 10 seconds on a hero. Meaning if a hero is affected by Envenomed Weapon, uses a tango or a healing salve, they regen 35% less HP from them. Remember this next time someone tries to contest your pull and gets hit by the Vuls. You should definitely start harassing them. The same concept applies to Ghost Camp. The Ghost Camp slows the movement speed and the attack speed of their target by 25% and 25% respectively. Be that as it may, the Ghost Camp's Frost attack slows the unit down for 1.5 seconds, so the window to harass is much smaller than that of the Vul camp. These small camps aren't the only abusable pull camp in Dota. The large Centaur camp can stun heroes for 2 seconds and non-heroes for 3 if 3 stunnable units are in its radius. How can you use that to your advantage? Well, consider this. You are being chased by 2 heroes, and if you don't do anything about it, they will kill you. Run into the Centaur camp, hit it, and run out. There is a 0.4 second cast animation on the stun, so you can run out of it just in time to get the 2 heroes that were chasing you stunned. Similarly to Centaur camp, you can use the Hellbear camp too to slow down and deal damage to your enemies. The Hellbear's Thunderclap also needs 3 units and has a 0.4 second cast animation. The last neutral creep we're going to talk about is Roshan. You can abuse Roshan's Bash to practically get a free first blood or early kills. Jenkins made a more in-depth video about it on his channel, so go check it out if you haven't yet. Spoiler, it includes Pudge. Speaking of neutral creeps, the next idea on this list is leaving the triangle to your position 1. Disclaimer, sometimes the position 1 on the team is the mid laner if they have a hero like Medusa or Morphling. The way Dota is currently played right now and the way the map is designed makes the triangles the safest place to farm on the map for each team, Radiant and Dire. Generally speaking, you would want to give your position 1 the safest farm on the map. Usually, your safe laner is your winning condition, and securing the farm for them is crucial to winning the game. Farming in the triangle would force your position 1 to farm in dangerous places, and that would increase the risk of them getting caught and dying, which could lead to your team potentially losing. Additionally, farming on the side lanes would cause the enemy team to react to you and would create space for your position 1. In a rare case where the enemy team doesn't react to you pushing the side lanes, you can just take their tower. If they still don't want to react, take another tower. Dota is a game of objectives. Kills are important, but destroying the Ancient is what will actually win you the game. By securing the triangle to your position 1 player, you effectively start investing in a mid to late game win condition. This is super important this patch as things have generally slowed down a bit compared to the previous Zoo meta. So remember guys, the triangle is definitely for the position 1 player, not for the rest of the team. Don't grief your carry. The next trick we're going to talk about is mainly for the supports, specifically the position 5. There is a common misconception about the support role that they shouldn't farm, and that it's okay to die. Well, I'm here to tell you today that if you think supports should feed for their team and only have brown boots at minute 30, then I'm sorry to break it to you, but you are wrong. In recent years, supports have gotten a lot of extra resources to farm, such as the Observer rewards costing no gold. Some of them have been removed, such as the GPM talents, but there is more farm on the map now than there was 5 years ago. It's true, supports sometimes have to die for their teammates, but that doesn't give you the excuse to blatantly feed. In order to stop feeding, which in turn would lead to you getting more farm, you as the position 5 should position yourself properly in fights so that you can use all your spells and try to survive the fight, and in turn, get some farm. With this trick, you would be solving both of your problems with one solution: better positioning. To help you position yourself better, you should buy utility items such as Glimmer Cape and Force Staff. Situationally, Ether Lens would also be broken on some supports like Bane or Winter Wyvern. Pro tip 1. Buy smokes. You can use them with your team before fighting, which would catch the enemy team off guard and gives your team a massive advantage. Or you can use them to go on a warding expedition without getting killed by the enemy team. Pro tip 2. You can buy smoke as a core too if your supports are too busy farming the triangle. Sad joke. But seriously, buying a smoke and pinging it usually causes people to actually group up and fight. So do this if you need to be more active on the map. Dota is a mental game, and the last idea on this list is about that. There are things you should do before the game starts. They will have a huge impact on your game, and it will show after a while when you would have gained MMR. Firstly, if you are on a losing streak, like 10 to 15 losses in a row, consider taking a break. Your break can last a day, a week, a couple of hours. What's important is that you should be doing something that will take your mind off of Dota for a while to reset your mentality. You can paint, go for a jog, watch a movie, play another game, so on. It should be something you enjoy. Dota can be stressful at times. Taking a break isn't something you should feel ashamed of. After your break, you will come back with a better mental state and you will play better. Another similar thing is looking at profiles before the game starts. A lot of people tilt before the game starts because they found a Smurf on their team. A really effective solution to this is to simply stop looking at the profiles pre-game. We spoke about this in our How to Beat Smurfs video, so make sure to check that out. Another mental gymnastic trick is picking heroes that can be played in different roles, like Nature's Prophet, for example. This might confuse the enemy and force them to counterpick you, which might give your team a massive advantage if you counter the counters. If you like playing dirty, you can always try to tilt your opponent in-game by using the chat wheels, voice lines, taunts, banners, and spray paints. Maybe even changing the color of the river might work. It was even speculated that OG won TI8 and TI9 because of their strong mental game and the chat wheel spam, which in some cases tilted their opponents. The True Sight documentaries show that in both the TI8 and the TI9 Grand Finals, OG's opponents, PSG, LGD, and Team Liquid, had to mute all 5 players of OG to not tilt. And those are professional teams doing that in the 2 biggest esports tournaments in history. There's no reason you shouldn't do that in your pubs. Just make sure you don't tilt your teammates while doing so. Pro meme tip: you can bind the taunt hotkey to the mouse wheel up or mouse wheel down, which would make using the taunts much easier, especially if you use camera grip to move your camera. Dota is more than just a high skill strategy game. It can also be a mental warfare game. In conclusion, you should always get into a game with a strong mental state. At least do that for ranked games. You'll always have a better chance of winning if you do so. Thanks for watching our video, fam. What'd you think of it? Will you apply these ideas to your game? We are so thankful for the support, and together we'll grow and improve this channel. Kindly like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join the notification squad, and I will see you all in the next one.